Hollywood Studios used to be considered a half-day park, but with some of the most popular attractions in all of Disney World, how much can you really get done in just a few hours? We've gotten through 15 attractions here in just 5 hours, and today I'm gonna try to beat that on one of the busiest days we've seen in a while. Wish me luck, but you're coming with me, so let's go. All right, good morning. I just got dropped off at Hollywood Studios. I must say, already, it is beautiful weather. The summer is over and I am in a better mood all around because it's not so hot anymore. It'll get hot in the afternoon later, and I'm almost a little chilly, like in my short sleeve t-shirt. So it's gonna be a good day. We're gonna crush this ride challenge. All right, so this is what we're walking into this morning. Looks a little crazy, but they're about to open in just a few minutes. All right, we made it inside. It is 9:10, so it took about 10 minutes to actually scan into the park. So now we are walking very quickly over to Galaxy's Edge. I'm sure you know where we're going. If you don't, we're going to Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. So while we walk there very quickly, let me explain. So right now we are in a time that is called rope drop. It is the very first 2 hours of a park opening. Back in the day, Disney cast members would open the park with a rope. They would hold it up and people could not enter the park until they dropped the rope. That, of course, does not happen anymore. They don't have the actual rope, but that's still the term that we use to say park opening. So coming a rope drop is very helpful if you want to get everything done in a specific park, especially a very popular and busy park like Hollywood Studios. So today we are rope dropping the most popular ride here in this park. It was my complete intention to buy the individual lightning lane for Rise of the Resistance this morning, which I'll explain, Jeannie, in just a second. But I was totally going to buy it this morning at 9 a.m. But as soon as I got on the app to purchase, right at 9 a.m., the hours were already into the 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock hour. And this ride challenge is only until 2 p.m. So we did not have an option to buy the lightning lane for Rise, so we got to rope drop it. Right now, the app only says 40 minutes, which is not bad at all. It's usually not as long as it's posted in the morning, so we're gonna check it out and see, but we have to rope drop it, so we're going there right now. Scratch that, new plan. It is now bumped up to a 65-minute wait, which I am not doing right now, only because we are doing this specific ride challenge. Now this challenge is to see how much I can get done in a short amount of time. If I was here on like a full day, if we were just hanging out at the park, I would recommend doing that and waiting first thing in the morning for that ride. It is worth it. I do truly think that. But right now, we're just trying to do as much as we can. So it's not necessarily a priority for me right now in this challenge. I would much rather do other rides with shorter waits. So just take that into consideration. That ride is amazing. If we could have bought it, I would have ridden it. Instead, we are going to switch gears and we're gonna go do Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Fun fact, I used to work here. This was my home. I worked in Galaxy's Edge on my Disney College program. I loved it, I miss it. Also, I feel like I need to tell people that I also worked at Woody's Lunchbox because I only ever talk about Galaxy's Edge because it was awesome and amazing and I was on opening team. But I did start at Woody's Lunchbox. So I've worked in Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge. And even still to this day, it's just so pretty to me. I think this land is beautiful. So many details. And I just love it. It's my home. So instead, we're gonna hit up Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. This is the attraction where you do get to pilot the Millennium Falcon yourself. There is a single rider line, which I will be taking advantage of. There are a couple attractions throughout Disney World that do have single rider lines. So for me, when I'm here by myself, they are great because you get to skip a majority of the line. I will say, if you hop in the single rider line with your whole party, you will all be split up. This is a way for Disney to fill in the gaps of other groups who need to fill in all of the ride vehicles. So you absolutely will be separated from your party. You can't stay together if you're in the single rider line.
Prepare, men. Hit your flashing buttons. Only one engineer. I'll do what I can to help out. Right, pilot? Push the flashing button to take off. Pilot on the left. Those heavy guys are protecting the train. Take them out. They've locked onto us. Take evasive action. Gunners, we need to defend ourselves. Open fire. Ah, there it is. After that train.
All right, that was super fun. It's only 9:30, so that's pretty good. The single rider line for Falcon, I have never waited more than 5-6 minutes in the single rider line, so for Falcon, it's a great option. Can't say that for the other single rider line that is here in this park, but anyways, we are moving on. We are walking right next door into Toy Story Land, and I think I want to do something that I would not normally recommend, but we're kind of limited with our options right now. I do have Genie Plus for today, and I booked Slinky Dog Dash right at 7 a.m., but it's not until 2 p.m. So we are right now in the middle of a 2-hour cooldown, so I can't make my next Genie Plus Lightning Lane selection until 11. I will explain in just a second, but right now, we're gonna hop on a ride. So next up, we're gonna hop on one of my favorites, Alien Swirling Saucers. This is a really fun ride geared for younger kiddos, but I still think it's a lot of fun. You get to hang out with the aliens and they kind of swing you around a little bit. It's got fun music. I think it's underrated. And right now it's only a 10-minute wait, so that's basically a walk-on. So we're gonna go get on it. I think that ride is so much fun. I think it's underrated. I think people need to respect it. And I would never wait a super long time for it, but I just think it's fun every time. And it brings out your inner kid, and all the kids riding, we're laughing and having a good time. So, justice for Alien Swirling Saucers. That's all I have to say. All right, so here's the current plan. It is 9:46. I would like to make it to the Beauty and the Beast show at 11. So we've got a little more than an hour to kill. Today's goal is to do as much as I can. So we're gonna head towards Sunset Boulevard. If we see any characters along the way, if we see any short waits, we're gonna do it. I'm very curious. The sky looks a little dark off in the distance. Don't love that. Last I checked, Rock and Roller Coaster was still down. It has not opened at all this morning, which is something to consider and remember. So hopefully they'll get it up and running later today, but not sure. No characters are out right now that I can see. Studios is like weirdly crowded today, and it's throwing me off just a little because I wasn't expecting it because it hasn't been crowded lately, but all of a sudden today it is. But I actually do think, let's go check out all these characters back here in the Pixar Place area. There's actually a bunch of characters back here. You've got Edna Mode, you've got Sully. I can see Frozone. The Incredibles are usually back here. Oh yeah, Mr. Incredible. What is Mr. Incredible doing? Hi, how are you today? You look great as always. I wanted to come say hi to both of you because, you know, I want to say I've been hitting the gym. I'm trying to, you know, bulk up a little. Not quite to your level yet, but, you know. Also doing yoga because I got to get flexible. So I'm trying to become my own superhero, but I'm not quite there yet. But I'm working on it. Okay, Edna Mode not coming out until 15 minutes, so I think we're gonna move on. We met Mr. and Mrs. Incredible, which was cool. We'll come back later because I want to do more stuff. I feel like I'm not doing enough. I will say it's only 10 a.m. though, so it's only been an hour. We've done quite a bit. So let's see what else we can do. Maybe we'll go over to Star Wars Launch Bay, meet some of those characters. We could do Walt Disney Presents. Let's do that. Let's do Walt Disney Presents. This is a museum of sorts where you can learn all about the history of Walt Disney and how he created the Disney parks we know and love today. It's actually really cool in here. I love looking at all of this stuff. This is so interesting to me. I think it's so fun and interesting, and there's actual real artifacts in here as well. That is why it is so cold in here. Every time we talk about it, we're like, oh, the AC is great. But it's because they have actual, like, legitimately, like, this is a table from 1928. They have to keep it cold to preserve the items in here. So if you need good AC, come in here, learn a little bit about Walt Disney and the history of the company. And plus, there is a meet and greet back here in the back, which we're going to go check out the time. Don't know what it is right now. But you can actually meet the live action Ariel back here in the back. If you are a Disney nerd, Disney historian, you have to come by and check out Walt Disney Presents, because this to me is like heaven. And normally whatever is happening up next is usually back here. They have a display, so it's still the Wish from last year. They've got costumes on display from the little live action mermaid are here. And honestly, perfect timing. So we're gonna go watch Walt Disney Presents. This is a short film about Walt Disney, narrated by Julie Andrews. So many things are happening right now. Just walked out of One Man's Dream, which is the show about Walt Disney, which got me emotional. But also, Disney World in the Halloween time is just weird because I never know if someone is an actual like Disney character or if they're in costume. I'm walking behind Indiana Jones. He came out of Star Wars Launch Bay. And at first I was like, that's a really cool costume. I'm gonna end up going over to Beauty and the Beast at 11, and I also wanna get food before we go sit down because you can eat in that theater because it's outside. So I'm walking back over to the Pixar area to see if I can meet, I mean, really if we can do Frozone and Edna Mode, and then grab some coffee right here at this Joffrey's and then go over there. We'll see. All right, good timing. We just met Frozone and Edna Mode. Confirmed. Edna Mode does like a little sparkle. Not a lot, just enough. She liked my ears, and I asked her if she was the sparkle girl because I didn't picture her as a sparkle kind of girl, but she said just enough when it's a little, when it's classy. So that's very good to know. It's 10:41. We need to make it over to Beauty and the Beast live on stage. I would love to get a coffee. I think our best bet is to go to the Joffrey's over by the Tower of Terror. We are gonna use a couple shortcuts. We're gonna head right past the Brown Derby restaurant and lounge. It's just a quicker way to get to Sunset Boulevard. It's 10:42, so it's almost time to make our next lightning lane. So I do need to look at the app to see what we need to grab. Hopefully we can grab one that's soon, and then we can scan in and get another one. All right, so let's talk Genie Plus while we walk. So Genie Plus is Disney's skip the line service. You do have to pay for it. There are 3 different options. You've got your free Genie, which is built into the My Disney Experience app. There's not a whole lot on it, but I do encourage you to take advantage of it. You can see wait times, you can mobile order, you can mobile checkout in the stores. You can see predictive wait times. The app is gonna tell you, if you wanna ride Tower of Terror, you can click on it. It's gonna give you a little graph that says, hey, it's high wait time right now, but if you wait a little bit later in the day, it's gonna go down. The next level, which is the middle tier, that is Disney Genie Plus. This is where you pay to skip a bunch of lines in Disney World. The number's now up to like 50, and those are all of the lightning lanes. There's a bunch at every park, and you pay for it per person per day. It is a date-based fee, so when the crowds are higher, they're gonna make Genie Plus higher, unfortunately. That's just how it works. Some parks it's worth it, some parks it's not necessarily. Hollywood Studios, I would say that it is worth it. Then finally, you've got the 3rd level, which is the individual lightning lanes. Those are the most popular rides in every single park. There's one in every single park except for Magic Kingdom right now has 2 with Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Tron Light Cycle Run. Those very popular attractions do cost money per person per ride. So you are paying to ride an attraction once, and you can only buy 2 individual lightning lanes in one day. That's your max. You can't get any more. So depending on what kind of day you're going for, what your goals are, sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. Just depends on you and your group. So I do encourage you to watch all of our videos about Genie Plus and lightning lanes in order to get a better idea about when it's worth it to buy, when it's not, because sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. Just depends on the day. We have walked past Beauty and the Beast. We're not getting on Tower of Terror right now. We are coming to get a little snack, a little coffee. because there is a Joffrey's location back here. Hopefully the line is not too long. All right, got my coffee. Let's head to the Theater of the Stars, where we're gonna watch Beauty and the Beast live on stage. This is a retelling of the classic animated movie, live on stage with live performers, live singing and dancing. I love it, it's one of my favorites, and it's about to start right now. Right, Beauty and the Beast was amazing as always. That is one of my favorite shows, just in Disney World in general, but I do love Beauty and the Beast, the movie, so I'm a little biased, but it's an amazing show. I do recommend, pro tip, if you are a big fan of the shows and want to see a lot of them, I would prioritize some of the first shows of the day because the performers are ready to go. They are pumped. They're not super tired from the day yet. So if you want a really good show, I would recommend watching the first one because the performers are at their best. I am heading over to Rock and Roller Coaster. The ride itself is down. Hasn't come up at all today. But we're gonna go watch another show that's back here. So unfortunately, Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith is an attraction back here on Sunset Boulevard, roller coaster themed to Aerosmith. But this attraction has not come up at all today. It is not opened. It is 11:30 now, so we're just gonna count that one off of our list today. I don't think it's gonna happen, but there is another show all the way back here past Rock and Roller Coaster, which is Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. This is a super cute show for little kids. If you've got a Cars fan, if you've got a Lightning McQueen fan, you absolutely need to come back here and watch this show. It is a really cool animatronic. Lightning McQueen comes out, all of his friends come out. We help him win a race, and it's really cute and fun, very short, but I will say they play great music back here. They're playing the Beach Boys right now, which I'm a fan.
And defeated!
Exactly! Mater, boot up the simulator.
You got it!
What? Oh, gotta push the button. Wrong button. Right. How can I be out of gas?
Organic fuel to the rescue, man.
Thanks, Fillmore. You're saving the race.
There's a race?
Now we are heading to Toy Story Mania. Our lightning lane begins in a little over 10 minutes, so we're gonna walk that way. So now let's talk about how you can get another lightning lane. So if you do end up purchasing Genie Plus for your Disney World day, it's very important that you know ahead of time how to book your next lightning lane. And there are 3 different ways you can do that. So number 1 is you have made your lightning lane and you go to the ride and scan in. As soon as you scan in, you can book a next one. It is important to note that some attractions you do have to scan in twice. So if you have scanned in for a lightning lane and you're immediately getting on the app trying to book another one and it won't let you, that's more than likely because the attraction has 2 scan-ins. So you'll just scan a second time and then you're able to book your next lightning lane. Number 2 would be if you have made a lightning lane and for some reason you miss your lightning lane, maybe you're at a dining reservation or maybe you just didn't make it over there in time. For some reason the hour is up and you missed that lightning lane. As soon as the hour is up for your lightning lane, you can book another one. Then the third option is what we like to call the 2-hour cool down or the 120-minute rule. Some people call that as well. So that is when it happened to me this morning, so I can give you a great example. So this morning at 7 a.m. I got on the app and I booked a lightning lane for Slinky Dog Dash. Now, because so many people were also on the app at the same time booking a lightning lane for Slinky Dog Dash, the quickest time that we were able to grab was 2 p.m. So at 7 a.m. this morning, I booked a lightning lane for Slinky Dog Dash that will not be until 2 p.m. So because it wasn't immediately, because the time was so far out in the day, I had to wait 2 hours to book another lightning lane. So when you do run into that 2-hour cooldown, you can use what we like to call filler attractions to fill in that time. Here at Hollywood Studios, I would consider a lot of the shows to be filler attractions, or something like Star Tours that's going to have a shorter wait all day long. Filler attractions are very important because you do need them to fill up your time. Here at Hollywood Studios, there's not as many attractions as the other parks, and they are very popular attractions, which means they're all going to have super long waits. Like today, we're experiencing that today. Also, meeting characters can be filler attractions as well. So we spent some time this morning meeting some of the Pixar characters just to fill in that time in between attractions or in between your lightning lanes. Next up on our list, we are doing Toy Story Mania. This is a shooter style attraction here in Toy Story Land. It's like a carnival game with all these different games that you can play. It's super fun. And the wait time right now is 70 minutes. So we get to use a lightning lane. As soon as we scan in, we're gonna make another one. Okay, so I scanned in for Toy Story Mania, and then I immediately booked another lightning lane. It took me it's been about 5, maybe 10 minutes, going back and forth in between Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and Tower of Terror. All the times were like 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. I kept modifying, kept refreshing, and I got Mickey and Minnie's for 1:30. That's amazing. Ready?
Ready for the practice game.
Oh, my arm is so tired. All right, I am so happy I snagged that lightning lane. So if you don't know, you can modify your lightning lanes. They added that a while after introducing Genie Plus. In the very beginning, you weren't allowed to do that, but you can now. So I went back and forth while in line for Toy Story Mania, and I kept going in between a lightning lane for Tower of Terror or Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, but all the times were, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock hour, and this ride challenge is over at 2 p.m. So I was patient and I kept refreshing. So once you actually book the lightning lane, you can tap the 3 little dots and click modify, and if you just keep refreshing, it's not going to happen immediately. It took me about 10 minutes of constant refreshing, but thankfully I had quick fingers and I snagged Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway for 125, which is going to be great. So we're going to do that at 125, and then we'll have Slinky Dog Dash at 2, and those are going to be our last 2 rides. It is now 12:30. I'm going to head towards Muppet Vision and Star Tours. We're going to get those out of the way. I wanted to do the 12:30 show of Frozen, but timing did not work out today. And I don't want to spend too much time in a longer show because I'm trying to do as much as I can. We're walking through Galaxy's Edge. We're gonna head towards Muppet Vision and Star Tours. As we are walking past, Rise of the Resistance is currently a 2-hour wait. It's 120 minutes. I already told you about Rope Drop this morning, so if you're here for Rope Drop, you can get on a really popular ride for a shorter wait than the rest of the day, but also you can hop in line for a ride the very end of the night. As long as you are in line before the park closes, you will get to ride it. So that is another great way to hit up a popular attraction, not necessarily for a lesser wait, but you won't be spending valuable park time waiting in a long line. With a very technologically advanced ride like Rise of the Resistance, if you wait until the end of the day to ride it, you do risk the chance of the ride breaking down, not all of the elements working. So that's also something to consider, but you gotta weigh your pros and cons. Also, something is happening over here. They are adding a building. No idea what it is, but stay tuned to AllEars.net to keep up with all the latest Disney news. Now, let's do Muppet Vision 3D.
Excuse me, but what's coming?
Oh, he's inside getting ready.
Oh, great. I've got a whole new act for the 3D movie. Just wait here, I'll get on.
One of those 3D movies. Put on your glasses, Statler. Yeah. Hey, look! Look at the guy in the Goofy mask! That's not a mask. Oh, sorry, lady!
Star Tours is 20, which is not bad. That's lower than it's been recently. What does Olaf say? This is 20. Should we do it? I think we should. All right, Olaf was great. Love him, love his warm hugs. We are heading right next door. It was like less than a 5-minute wait to meet Olaf, which was crazy. So we are heading right next door to watch Vacation Fun, which is a short about Mickey and Minnie Mouse. If you watch the Mickey shorts on Disney Plus, basically the same thing, but it's a really cute story in this one where they end up going. No spoilers, wink wink. So we're gonna watch this show. I can't record it, so I'll see you on the other side. Okay, we are in final crunch time, and as I'm walking towards Star Tours, it's a 10-minute wait, which means a walk-on, which is amazing. So let's go head into the galaxy, see where we end up on Star Tours. Star Tours is a 3D simulator attraction that puts you into the Star Wars universe. There are so many possibilities where you could go, missions you're sent on, which makes it so much fun and re-rideable. This does tend to give people motion sickness, so just be aware.
You know I can't fly this thing. No, neither can you. We need a proper pilot. Got to fix those engines immediately. You know I can't swim. And neither can you. Go away, beastly thing. Go away! Auto, save us! I wasn't programmed for this.
Alright, our day is almost over. Let's see if we can knock in these last 2 rides. I've got lightning lanes for both Runaway Railway that we're going to right now, and then as soon as we hop off of that, we're gonna go hop on Slinky Dog Dash. I do think that when talking about stacking lightning lanes, I think Hollywood Studios is a great park to do that for. So Hollywood Studios is not super big, it's the smaller park of all 4. And it's very easy to have a slow morning, and you can stack your lightning lanes for later on in the day so that you can hit all those big attractions right in a row, which is kind of what we've done today. Not intentionally, that's just how today played out with lightning lane times and all of that. So if you can play your cards well and say maybe you want a slow resort morning one day and then you want to come to studios later in the day, stack those lightning lanes, and you can have a very fun chill day, but also getting a lot done. So I do think Hollywood Studios and possibly Epcot are some good parks to stack lightning lanes for if you want to wait, have a slow morning, and then hit up a bunch of attractions later on in the day. We are heading back into Toy Story Land one final time for our last attraction of the day for this challenge. Slinky Dog Dash is a kid-friendly roller coaster here in Toy Story Land. It's very popular. Most of the time has a really long wait, up to 2 hours. So this is the first lightning lane that I booked this morning at 7 a.m. and it was all the way out in the 2 o'clock range. So it does go by pretty fast. I mysteriously made it over to ABC Commissary for a little post-challenge lunch. Of course, I went with the usual. This is my classic, my fave, grilled buffalo chicken grilled cheese from ABC Commissary with some nice buffalo sauce and some thick steak fries. So after sitting here looking at the list, counting, we got 16 things done in just 5 hours in Hollywood Studios, which I think is impressive. Do I think Hollywood Studios is a half-day park? No, absolutely not. We did a lot here, and we did a little bit of everything. We did a couple of rides, a couple of shows, a couple of characters, but we didn't do everything. And it's really, really hard to do everything in a short amount of time here at Hollywood Studios. Everything is so popular. Everything has a long wait. You really do need Genie Plus if you're trying to do everything here. So I do not think it's a half-day park. Honestly, I don't think any Disney park is a half-day park anymore. I think we are way past that. But especially Hollywood Studios, you can't get everything done in half a day. Not all of the big popular stuff. You can do everything in studios in one day, and you can do it casually, you know? Like I said earlier, having a slow morning, maybe doing all the shows in the morning while you stack lightning lanes for later on in the day, and then you hit up all the attractions later. It's totally possible to do everything in studios in one day. We've done it on our channel with Genie Plus and even without Genie Plus, so you don't necessarily have to buy it for your Studios day, but I would recommend it if you want to do everything, and I'm talking attractions, shows, characters, everything. You can take your time, you can have a nice lunch moment. It's possible. We've done it before multiple times, so be sure and go check out our other videos in studios to help you better plan your Hollywood Studios day. Thank you for coming along with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I for sure had fun. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and now go watch our latest Game Master video in Animal Kingdom. We'll see you there.